As hired management consultants by Mr. Fruit and the board of directors of Peach Inc., Jim Consulting Group has identified the key issues facing Peach Inc. Our consulting group analyzed strategies for Peach Inc. to balance the consumer demand for its products with environmental and social impacts of its business practices. Peach Inc. is an electronic device company and is facing critical issues under the three pillars of sustainability, which are economic, society, and environment, which need to be overcome regardless of the geographical locations of their overseas manufacturing plants. Each issue is then addressed with appropriate strategies and implementation plans that raise potential risks and solutions for mitigation. To begin, we have provided an economic analysis of Peach Inc.'s decision regarding manufacturing operations in China and elsewhere. Peach Inc. must address their social and environmental implications and develop a socially responsible framework, which includes the UN Guiding Principles on Business and the advancements of human rights.
So what we're going to discuss next is Peach's current supply chain. So right now we have hundreds of manufacturers who are involved with developing peach products already in China. What the board has proposed is that we actually move out of China, away from the criticisms and the controversies of the working conditions, and move it to another country in Asia, such as Thailand or Vietnam. But our group does not think that this relocation would reflect favorably on Peach. Instead, Peach is in a unique position to respond to criticism surrounding its use of foreign supply in a number of ways. We could improve standards of our manufacturing practice as well as working conditions in China in general. And instead of turning our backs on our long-time employees, we can actually stay around and be part of the solution.
And China is the current location of our supply chain because of its unmatched scale, speed, flexibility, and its large number of skilled engineers. So we already know that they'll be able to keep up with everything that we expect out of our supply chain, and this means that we can focus solely on improving working conditions without worrying about the quality of our product and the efficiency of our system.
So while the current situation in China is less than ideal, it is important that we become part of the solution rather than run from the problems.
Peach Inc. has been receiving negative criticism for failure to demonstrate environmental sustainability initiatives into their business practices. Therefore, we have made the following recommendations to consider before further expansion beyond their current Chinese manufacturing operations. With over 150 suppliers, it is a challenge to properly monitor each segment of the supply chain. However, they can target their stores, headquarters, and manufacturing operations to incorporate sustainability values throughout their supply chain, primarily through education and engagement of employees in their stores and headquarters. They could be mandated to implement proper sustainability work initiatives such as composting, recycling, or even energy conservation tips such as turning off the lights or limiting the amount of paper they use in the coffee room. It is as simple as that they can incorporate sustainability initiatives at work. As for manufacturing processes, Peach will gain the most traction by mandating suppliers to have a reduce and reuse policy. All products should be produced with as little waste as possible, as where applicable, they should also substitute and reuse materials for other products. With these habits changing in their workforce, this will set a tone that Peach Inc. embraces a sustainability value. Peach Inc. should also look into implementing low-carbon emission vehicles for transportation of products across from factory to shelves and storefronts. They should also implement a take-back program demonstrating their commitment to extended producer responsibility. They can donate a portion of the proceeds to environmental causes and rehabilitate the environment that they operate in, on just selling products to consumers, but that they see that the value in protecting their environment as a business advantage.
Peach Inc.'s Human Resource Department is currently facing two challenges, the first being conflict minerals. It's always bad to be associated with war or corruption or unethical practices, so ideally Peach Inc. needs to find conflict-free minerals. Unfortunately, there are no known recognized organizations that do this. So in the meantime, we suggest that Peach Inc. Partner with an existing organization like the Enough Project, which focuses on activism, research, and the mobilization of everyday Americans. They can start campaigns, fundraisers, events, and even create or redesign a product line to benefit the organization. As such, aside from strong marketing, they won't really need to invest too much into this project. The second major HR issue they're facing has to do with suppliers and indirect employees. In fact, they've been garnering criticism for accusations of poor human rights practices and violations. This involves poor wages, inhumane working conditions, poor grievance procedures, and a lack of factory monitoring or policy standardization. To meet long-term goals of reducing supplier competition and developing a highly efficient supply chain, Peach Inc. must improve relationships and introduce UN guiding principles in its operational framework. While they have the opportunity to move with manufacturers in Vietnam and Thailand, Peach needs to commit to Chinese factories and work collaboratively to develop solutions and improve conditions. Besides, Thailand and Vietnam face their own myriad of challenges like common work action, employment of non-documented migrant workers, and odd union arrangements. Basic human rights need to be attained. Peach Inc. must consider becoming minor shareholders in factories to gain voice and influence over practices.